Welcome to another review of today's series of movies that I need to catch up on and talk about before they officially get pulled from theaters that I would like you to, at least give a shot. And so this review is going to be dedicated to a film called Drop. And this is a romantic thriller, basically, where you have a single mom who goes on a blind date for the first time in years, and suddenly she starts getting these airdrops from a random user on her phone, and they basically tell her to perform a series of tasks or they will kill her son. So, pretty tense way to get back in the dating life. This is a movie that I highly enjoyed. If you didn't know, this is a film directed by Christopher Landon. He is the director behind the Happy Death Day films, and especially a film called Freaky that came out a couple years ago. And the thing I appreciate about Christopher Landon is you think of like these genre blenders where you have like Happy Death Day, for example, is a genre blender of a slasher and Groundhog Day. Really good. And then you have something like Freaky that combines Freaky Friday and a slasher. This movie is combining the romantic comedy elements, more on the romantic side, and the thriller, almost like I've heard it described as a Hitchcockian thriller, which I really need to get into his filmography. But this is a movie that I feel really pulls off the thrills and especially the romantic elements really well. And this is a film that, I want to be quite frank, is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Especially if you're not really into the kind of smaller, more straightforward types of thrillers. I feel like this one kind of goes in that vein, but it also doesn't, in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because it is that genre blender. And so I had a really fun time watching this movie. There's some really great comedy to it. The thrills are really well executed. The editing, while sometimes a little bit overplayed, I think does a great job enabling basically the pacing of the movie to feel like it's ongoing every single minute. And not only that, I feel like the main two leads, for the life of me, I can only remember Megan Foley, if I'm pronouncing that right. But she is the main character, and I especially loved her character, and especially her performances, because this movie basically hinges on her performance. And I especially love how this film is able to pull off almost a real-time sequence with, as soon as she walks into the restaurant to go on the date, basically that's all it is. It's all focused on that. It's almost real time, like minute by minute, you're going with her. And so it might be a little slower paced for some people's taste, but I thought that what Christopher Landon was able to do with the setting, the editing, and especially the cinematography was really great at sucking me into this sequence. So it almost made this dining room a real place. Like, it just sucks you in to the experience. Which, my review before this, I talked about a movie called Warfare that was really good at sucking you into the experience. I feel like as soon as you enter this dating area, it's almost the same effect. I think Warfare does a better job, but this movie still does a great job at enabling you to feel what's going on, to feel the intensity, and especially to feel the laughs that come. There is one character, I can't remember the actor's name for the life of me, but he plays the waiter of these two, of the couple, and the waiter is freaking hilarious. I thought he was the scene stealer. My theater was basically laughing every single minute. I thought it was fantastic. And while maybe I would say like the last like 15-20 minutes, it kind of loses a little bit of my engagement as soon as you figure out what's going on, and especially as soon as you leave the dining room sequence. But I still feel like it's good enough for what the movie was going for. So this is a thriller that I highly enjoyed, is really well made, and maybe a little bit hard to believe everything that happens in the film, but if you're willing to shut your brain off for a little bit, you're going to have a blast with this movie. Thank you so much for tuning into this review. And if you want more, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel down below. And have a great day. Take care.